Hi lovelies, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm going to be making cauliflower coconut jollof rice. These are the ingredients I'm going to use. I'm going to use rice. I'm using basmati rice here. You can use any rice of your choice. And what I will do to this rice is soak it overnight, or you can soak it for 8 hours. I'm also going to use coconut milk, freshly made coconut milk. I'm going to use a bulb of onion, just one of it. And I'm going to use pepper. For my peppers, I'm going to use red bell pepper, tatashe. I'm going to use carrots in this recipe. That's one of the eating veggies here. I'm also going to use tomatoes in this recipe. I'm going to use about 3 to 4 tomatoes in this recipe. I'm going to use onion in order to blend with my peppers. I'm also going to use chili pepper, and that is bar. So this chili pepper, I just remove the seed from it because it can cause bloating. This is spring onions, the white part of spring onions that people always throw away. I don't throw it away, I always add it to my food. And also spring onions. So I'm also going to use garlic ginger paste. If you don't have the paste, you can use raw. I'm going to use salt, and I'm going to use my jollof rice spice, homemade jollof rice spice. This is sesame oil. That is the oil I'm going to use in this recipe. You can use any other oil. Sesame oil is very good for your kids. It's a good source of unsaturated fats, and it's good for immune system. It's rich in calcium and heals wound fast. Also, I'm going to use extra virgin olive oil. You can use any oil you have at hand. And the star of the show is cauliflower. Yes, that is the secret of this ingredient. I'm going to use cauliflower in this recipe. Cauliflower is very good for your kids. You should always add it to their meal whenever you have the opportunity to. So what I'm going to do here is to cut the cauliflower. I'm going to remove the flower from the stem. So to remove the flower from the stem is very easy. Just look for an open place and put your knife and cut it from the stem. That's how to remove your cauliflower from the stem. Cauliflower is very good for kids. It's rich in vitamin C. The vitamin C in cauliflower is 77%, which is higher than orange, or any citrus we always see as vitamin C. And it also contains fiber, it contains magnesium, it contains riboflavin, and many more. So cauliflower is very good for our kids. If you have the opportunity to add cauliflower to your kids' food, you can add it to it. So the vitamin C in cauliflower will help the body to absorb iron, which is what children really need at that stage. So what I will do to this cauliflower is to grate the cauliflower. I can't add the cauliflower to the rice like this. For a child that do pick, you understand, so we need to grate it. I don't have a picky child. I don't have any picky eater in my house, but I just like adding vegetables to my children's food. If I boil this cauliflower and put it at the side of their food, they are going to eat it. But sometimes I love to cook it with their food. So the rest of the cauliflower I remove from the stem. I'm going to steam them, put them in the freezer. Whenever we want to make smoothie, we throw it into our smoothie. That's another way of adding cauliflower to your child's meals. You can use it in smoothie, you can use it in their rice or any other muffin and any other thing. So this is the grated cauliflower. I'm going to put it aside, and let's go to our pepper. How do I cook my pepper? I put my pepper in the oven to roast, and I blend it. But this is another way of cooking your pepper if you don't have a oven. Cut everything into smaller pieces and put it on the stove. Let it boil for a while. As you can see, it's boiling. It's okay now. It's soft enough to blend. So I'll just put it in the blender and blend my pepper, and that is it. So the next thing I'm going to do here is to add my oil into the pan. The first oil I add to the pan is sesame oil, and the next one is olive oil. If you notice that I didn't use much oil in this rice recipe, I'll tell you the reason why later. So the next thing I'm going to add to the pot is my onions, and I'll give it a stir, and I'll fry the onions until it's translucent. That's what we really need. Onions really add flavor to your food. I love using onion in anything I'm cooking. It adds flavor to your food. Despite having it in the pepper I blended, I still need the onions to add flavor to the oil I'm using. So that's why I always use onions. So the next thing I'm going to add is garlic ginger paste. If you don't have the garlic ginger paste, you can use the fresh one. Just grate the fresh one and add it to it, and I'll give it a mix. So I forgot to tell you that I'm going to use tomato paste. This is the remaining tomato paste I have in my pantry. My sister just told me the way they produce this tomato paste, and I've decided not to be using it in my jollof rice again. So this is the last one, and I'm letting it go. So let me know in the comment section, do you use tomato paste for your jollof rice or you don't? Because I know there are some people that don't really use tomato paste in their jollof rice. So let me know in the comment section. So I'm going to add bay leaf to it. I have small bay leaves, I don't have the big one. So the next thing I'm going to add is this pepper. As you can see, the pepper is very orange. It's because of the carrots and it looks so bright. I'm going to use like 4 cooking spoons of this pepper. I'm not going to use all, so I'm going to use like 4 cooking spoons. Then I'll keep the remaining one. I'll pour it in a jar and put it in my fridge. I can use it anytime, and you can use it for anything. You can use it as pasta sauce, you can use it as pizza sauce, you can use it in so many things. It's very good. It's another way of adding different veggies to your child's meal. So the next thing we are going to use is our milk. I'll just give it a stir because it's homemade milk. The water will settle under and the milk will be at the top. So I'll just mix it together. As you can see that the milk is very, very creamy. Yes, I have a way of making my coconut milk so creamy. If you want my coconut milk recipe, let me know in the comment section and I'll make it for you. So I'm going to add salt to this recipe. I'm not going to use the full 2 tablespoons of salt that I'm supposed to use. I'm going to use 1 tablespoon now, and if I need more, I'll add later. So I'm going to add my jollof rice spice. I don't do seasoning cubes. So if you do seasoning cubes, you can add it at this stage. The jollof rice spice is homemade. I made it myself. That is what I use in my recipes because we don't do seasoning cubes in this house. So coconut milk is very good for your child. If you want to add anything to their meal, try to add coconut milk. It contains essential fats. It improves digestion, helps children gain weight, improve immunity, and is antibacterial. It's very good. It contains the water. That coconut milk I made contains the water, the oil, and everything. So that's the reason I did not add so much oil to this recipe at the beginning, because coconut milk contains oil. And I'm also going to use butter later. So I added thyme and curry into this recipe. I forgot to show you that also. So I added my thyme and curry, I'm sorry about that, into this recipe. And I'll give it a stir. So one thing I did not use in this recipe is water. I use only coconut milk. That is what gives this jollof rice a very yummy flavor. I used only the coconut milk. So now what I'm going to use to this rice, because I'm not going to cook it on a high heat, I'm going to cover with a parchment paper instead of using foil paper. Don't use foil paper to cover your rice. Use parchment paper. So I'm going to cover with parchment paper, and it's so well. So I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to use the pot cover to cover it in order for it to steam. What your rice really need is a low heat, not high heat. So let's check our rice. What we want now is a little bit of water in that rice that can cook the cauliflower. That's just what we want. So as you can see, we have a little bit of water in there. So I'm just going to add my cauliflower into this rice. So cauliflower is very good for your kids. Like I said, try to sneak it into their food if you know your child does not like vegetables, if they don't like seeing vegetables. This recipe is one thing you can make for them. This jollof rice is very yummy. This is not my regular jollof rice recipe. I have a regular jollof rice recipe, but this is the way I like to make this recipe. I don't want it so red like jollof rice, you know. I don't want it so red. So I just want a bright color jollof rice. Okay, so it's coconut jollof rice, so I don't need to make it in the regular way we make it. So if you watch this video to this stage, that means I'm doing something right. Please subscribe to my channel. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and click the bell button before you go, so anytime I upload a new video, you will get the notification of the video. So I'm going to add the butter. I love to add butter to jollof rice because it's going to make it fluffy, it's going to make it separate, it's not going to make it munchy, you understand? So that's why I like to add butter to this recipe. So what we are going to do is to cover it back. At this stage, I'm going to off the stove. I'll just cover the rice, cover it with the pot. We don't really need it so well again, so I'll just cover it with the pot cover. So after 3 minutes, our jollof rice is ready. This jollof rice is so yummy. Like I said, so yummy. Your kids are going to love it, you are going to love it. It's something, even if you have a guest, make it for your guests, they are going to love it. I didn't use water because I want that coconut flavor in this rice. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel and try this recipe. Let me know how it goes. Let me know if your little ones really like it. So as you can see, the rice is not so red like our regular jollof rice. It's just normal. So until I see you in another video, try to take care of yourself and take care of your little one, and don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up, and click the bell button before you go. See you in my next video. Take care of yourself. Bye.